Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ngozi Okose. I'm the Director of Culture, Diversity, and Inclusion of Harvard Alumni for Mental Health Special Interest Group. This interest group is aware of the mental and emotional toll that this COVID pandemic is taking on all of us. And we recognize the need to take a global responsibility to reduce the risk of mental unhealthiness. Knowing that one cap does not fit all, we strive to design programs that are culture sensitive and allow us to explore and celebrate mental health, especially in its local context, and also learn expertise in diversity of culture, race, and identity. We also strive to build a community of experts who will provide culturally congruent and holistic intervention using indigenous approaches to healing. That is, professionals with shared understanding of cultural norms and values who will also employ holistic approach that will address the mind, the body, the spirit in caring. It's an honor to have you all here today, and hopefully this event will open the way for several self-regulatory exercises beyond this first exposure. We organized this holiday home yoga sampler. We all know that yoga has become one of the major therapeutic tools used to improve self-regulation and reduce stress, whether the stress is from minor life challenges or major crises. In the spirit of the holiday, we have Rina Deshpande, culturally informed yoga specialist. And she will be leading us with 3 free 30 minutes yoga sessions for 3 Thursdays starting today. Today is the first Thursday of this program. This series is designed to help us release pressure, express gratitude, and practice to enjoy the present. Rina is a teacher, a writer, a researcher of yoga and mindfulness practices. Having grown up as a first-generation Indian American, she was raised to practice yoga. With Indian yoga philosophy, she rediscovered its profound value as a New York City public school teacher. For the past 15 years, she has practiced and shared the benefits of yoga across the globe. Rina studied yoga and mindfulness as self-regulation at Harvard Graduate School of Education. I now hand over to Rina. Thank you for showing up today, and then we are all braced to learn from you.
Thank you so much. This is such an enthusiastic introduction and so robust. I really appreciate it. And the 15 years is since the pandemic turned into 17 years, which I'm sure all of us, can relate. Time feels like a blur. I'm so moved. I just wanted to say, seeing faces that are familiar. I'm not sure if you can see each other or not. And if not, then just know that I'm really, really touched by all that I see here, everyone I see. So thanks for joining. Today's practice is going to relate to gratitude and hopefully will help us come into a place of presence. So I'd love to just begin. So if you'd like, come into a comfortable seat. Just notice the space around you. And perhaps you're in a familiar space, perhaps you're in a newer space, but if even in this practice, we sometimes think of a start time for yoga and mindfulness, but even through the transition, do you notice anything familiar that you feel grateful for? Something perhaps that is hidden in an everyday circumstance, but you're just taking the time to notice it. And as you find your seat, this is all optional, by the way, so I invite you to practice, and whatever doesn't feel right, feel free to skip or modify, and I'll offer some options for that. This is called Padadhirshasana, so you can take the hands and place them underneath your armpits like so, gently, no squeezing necessarily. The thumbs are sticking out at the front. And you can relax the shoulders down as you're seated up tall. You can do this seated on the floor or in a chair. You could do this standing if you like. And you can close the eyes if you want, or you can keep your eyes open on me or on a point. And see if you can just notice the breath through your fingertips to start. You might even feel your heartbeat through your hands. And again, in this practice, as we start to ground in gratitude, sometimes it can feel grating to make lists of gratitude when we're not in that mind space. So can we make it soft and organic, the gratitude that we feel? So right now, the way that we're breathing, the way that we're together, and see if you can increase the depth of your breath. So can you breathe in a little bit more fully? Can you let go of the breath all the way? You can stay like this, or if you want to feel a bit more balanced, you can take the top hand and just cross it over and replace it underneath. So you'll feel a different pressure because the other arm is on top. And now with a little bit more intentionality in this opening gratitude practice, it might feel counterintuitive, but I'd like you to think about you and what you feel grateful to yourself for. And this might feel selfish at first. It's sometimes easy to jump into self-criticism or constructivist thinking. But think of you. What do you appreciate about yourself? It might be that you've made time for yourself to practice in the middle of your day or morning or evening, wherever you are. You've taken the time. That's courageous to let go of the rhythm or the things that we're worrying about. Or if you felt like you were in a slump, to get up and to join something. Good for you. And then you can blink the eyes open if they're closed. Relax the hands down. And just notice where you are. See if you can continue to breathe fully and comfortably. So there are some resources that I'll be able to send out after. I'll also share them on my Instagram. Hi again, I'm Rina Deshpande, sometimes known as Rina the Poet on Instagram. You can look up resources if you want. This isn't the end. I'm just pausing to do an intro after our first practice. And gratitude really is now in part of research and science to show us that taking time to pause, move away from the worry that can turn into a constant method of thinking, taking the time to look around and appreciate the small things very scientifically can have benefit. Physiologically, it can reduce blood pressure right in the moment. It can help you to breathe better, and it can help to clear your mind. It can also instill a spirit of persistence when the going gets tough, when you need that as well. I know for many of us, it's not been an easy time, an easy year. I personally have been experiencing something difficult. I know friends have had loss in their lives. And some of us might be feeling pretty good. No matter what, gratitude can help us. I just wanted to share a small practice. Me being a classroom teacher as well, I support in schools as well. I helped to found Relay Graduate School of Education. This was a little glass bowl that I bought for my mom when I think I like saved up $5 or something and bought it at a store for her for a holiday one year. And this became a gratitude jar. This is a kind of thing I did in classrooms. Sometimes it's hard to access gratitude. So I want to acknowledge that as well, that when it's hard to think of things we're grateful for, when we're feeling low, which is very natural and human, it's nice to set up a jar. So when you have a practice of thinking of something you're grateful for, and you really genuinely feel it, you could do it at a certain time of the day, perhaps in the morning, or you can do it anytime the spirit calls you, and you just write it on a piece of paper and you can drop it into your gratitude jar. If you feel like you're not able to access gratitude in a moment when you're feeling low, it's a thing that you can do to pull one out and just read it to yourself. This is great also for classrooms. This is good for family management if you're a parent or a caregiver, if you work in a place, if you're a caregiving professional. So I just wanted to share that with you. And in the spirit of sustainability, this is my mom's practice. We cut up old envelopes. So it's not like we're using different paper, and they serve very well. So I just wanted to share that as one idea. We'll now move into some breathing. And so this again being optional. I'll scoot back so you can see me. You can sit in a chair, you can sit on the floor, staying right where you are. If your legs are crossed, just invite you to uncross them and recross. And we're going to build upon what we just did. So bring your hands underneath your armpits if you like. Starting here, take 2 deep breaths in. You might even breathe out of the mouth. The exhalation can be really nice. You might notice your exhalations are longer than your inhalations. That's also normal. Once you've finished your second exhalation, release the hands down to your knees or onto your chair. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, cross it over to the other side and place the other hand to the opposite knee. Relax the shoulders and you might even round the spine back. So this is a really nice back opener. Take 2 breaths here. Once you finish your 2 cycles, come back upright, replace the hands, take 2 breaths. And again, release the hands. So this I'm going to do a little different order. Take the other hand that you didn't use, so it probably is your left hand, opposite knee. Lift up the opposite arms, probably the right arm, up to the sky. Open the chest, maybe look up to the sky. Take 2 breaths here. So feel a nice stretch, nothing too strenuous. Relax the arm down to the opposite knee. You'll be right in your back opener. It's a little bit easier this way. 2 breaths here. So feel a nice stretch in the back body. And when you finish 2 cycles of breath, you just slide right back into your Padadeshasana. So we'll do that for another cycle. So take 2 breaths again, grounding down. Your eyes can be open or closed as you like. Release the hands down after 2 breaths. Might be 2 or 3 depending on your rhythm. Good. And then bring let's do the right hand to the opposite knee. Inhale the left arm up to the sky. Maybe look up, 2 breaths here. Relax that hand down to the opposite knee. Take a nice shoulder back opener. So you'll feel the shoulder blades spreading apart on the back. 2 breaths. And then sliding right back up. 2 breaths. You're experts now. So I'm making this a little bit more complicated. It's a soft complicated, right? For a reason, which I'll share in just a moment. And release the hands down. I think it's left hand to the opposite knee. Reach the right arm up to the sky. Breathe, side lean, 2 breaths. You might even smile. You might shake the head out a little bit. You might relax now, down, opposite hand to opposite knee. You're in a nice back opener. Take a nice breath in and out. You might even stick out the tongue this time, getting a little more comfy in this. One more. And then slide right back up. And we'll end with those 2 breaths here, comfortable. And relax the hands down. You might open the palms up to the sky. We're just going to take 10 seconds of quiet. This is bringing us into meditation practice. So just 10 seconds. Notice how you feel. Now it's just 10 seconds. So you might see your mind wandering a bit. It might feel comfortable. The reason I bring up this quiet space is sometimes when I talk with some people, they're saying it's difficult for me to just come and sit still. And you know what? That's very normal. It's almost like if you were working with a child to ride a bike and you're like, okay, just get up on the bike and go, get in your rhythm. There are steps to it. We bring ourselves into the place of practice to get on the rhythm of the bike and learn that over time. It may be easy to start, it may be hard, depending on who you are, your background, it doesn't matter. The idea is that we're bridging ourselves into it. So just small pockets of meditation after we've breathed, after we've moved, can help us to find that stillness in a gradual way. And it doesn't have to feel defeatist, I need to sit here for 5 full minutes, and you hear your mind thinking. These are just small ways to gradually bridge in. The other thing I mentioned about the complicated order, and you can come to stand now as I explain this, we'll come into a standing practice. And you need no equipment, nothing. Is a complicated pattern is when you're trying to move from a worrisome, anxious mind into stillness. It can create a sudden shock, right? And you hear it, you're flooded with all of your anxiety. And if you're anxiety prone, it can make it feel even worse. You might feel your heart race. When you come up with a little bit more of a novel or challenging sequence to practice, and your mind has to focus to stay with it, you're actually training attentional focus in your brain, in your mind. And you may have found that when we were doing these arms and it wasn't super straightforward and you had to focus, that you were more present. So that's another practice I wanted to acknowledge with you as well. We'll now do, as I bump into my tree, we'll do a simple, this is called a sun breath. So you may be experienced with it, you may be new to it. This is a standing practice. And for those of you that have tight hamstrings, the backs of your legs, or you feel a tight back, I love this practice personally. I do it every single morning without fail. Just a few of them even opens up my day. So you can ground down in your feet. I'm pressing my feet into the floor. I'm still relaxed in my upper body. But when I say draw navel into the spine, it doesn't mean suck it in. It just means that you're gently cueing yourself to not have this kind of a pitch forward or sunken shoulders. It's just a cue to say, be strong in your midsection while you're soft in your shoulders. Lift up your toes for a moment, widen them. It might feel funny. If you have shoes, it might not be possible. That's okay. Bring them back down. Open the hands, soften the jaw. Inhale, lift the arms up all the way. You might touch your hands at the top if you want to. Nice stretch. As you exhale, you can fold. If your backs of thighs are very tight, this might be where you stop, or here, that's fine. You might even want to bend the knees. If you have range, you can start to slowly fold all the way to the ground. You can use your hands on your thighs or shins to support. Take a breath here. Good. Now come back to a halfway point, or what you would imagine is a halfway lift point. The reason is we don't want to lift to stand all the way quickly because we want to support the blood-brain barrier in the head. So we're just doing this gradually. Fold a little bit gently, and then ground through the feet. Breathe in, lift the arms all the way up, press the palms. Exhale, you can bring your palms to your heart, or you can just let the hands come to your sides. Very nice. So do it again. So ground through your feet, navel to spine. Inhale, lift the arms all the way. Touch palms if you want. Nice stretch. Exhale, relax the jaw as you fold as much or as little as you like. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, gentle fold just to recalibrate. And then ground through the feet. Lift strong as you breathe in all the way. Maybe look up, touch palms. Exhale, palms can come to the heart, or you can just bring them alongside you. Let's do 2 more. Breathe in, lift the arms. Breathe out, fold. Relax the jaw. You can stick out the tongue if you want. Breathe in, halfway lift. Looking good. Breathe out, fold. Ground through the feet. Breathe in, lift arms wide, strong. Exhale, palms come down where you like. We'll go right into the next one. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, fold. Breathe in, half. Breathe out, release. Ground through feet, lift strong all the way. And breathe out, bring your hands to your heart or alongside of you. Pause in this position, I'll be visible. You can keep your eyes open, soft on a point ahead or on me, or you can close them. And again, let's give ourselves this time, 20 seconds of just stillness. Notice how you feel. And that was just about 20 seconds. You can come to sit if you like. This is something, if you're a classroom teacher, I know we have some ed people joining us, education people. I used to pause my third graders and fifth graders, and we would take these moments of pause to calm down, but we also would realize how much space is in 20 seconds. You know, it goes by like this, right? When we're scrolling on our phones. But if you actually pause and you're kind of like, on board, what do I do? You realize how much time really lives within these seconds that can go by if we're not present with them, which will also happen normally in life too. So let's take a moment here as we're seated, and we're going to just move now into a simple breathe before I offer what's called Yoga Nidra, which is a progressive body relaxation. So now that you're seated again, find a comfortable position, meaning your spine is lifted but not strained. You're not in a tight posture to be doing it correctly. You're lifted but soft. Your jaw is relaxed. The teeth are a little bit apart. The tongue can be at the bottom of your palate. You might feel that your body is warm even from these simple movements. If you can't detect it, believe me, it is. Relax the shoulders. If you're scrunching the eyes closed, can you relax the eyeballs and the sockets? Can you imagine that the lids are just like blankets, gently coating them? And if it helps you this time for the 30 seconds, you can keep your attention either at your heart center, feeling your breath in and out, or we have what's called a third eye point in yoga practices, the point between the eyebrows and the midbrain, a little bit above. And it's almost like a little bit inset in the corpus callosum, between the two halves of the brain. So you can also try to rest your attention there. And if your mind wanders, just be gentle with you and come back to that point. So I'll just take 30 seconds for us and see how it feels to rest in quiet, focused on breath or the point. So you start to deepen your breath. That was about 30 seconds. Notice how space and time kind of shift when we quiet down, right? Some things can feel long or fast. It's all this perception, which is, I love quantum physics. Not that I actually get it. I like to pretend I like it as well. So sitting up in this position, take your hands to your heart if you want to, thanking yourselves for this moment, and we'll do a simple progressive body relaxation with a spirit of gratitude toward ourselves. The reason I'm saying toward ourselves is I feel like I've been in practices or working with many, myself included, of self-criticism a lot lately, especially when we're confined. It can feel like our minds get the better of us and we're not always so nice to ourselves. And I really just want to encourage that when we make a change to be good to ourselves and appreciate ourselves, that's a change that we are making in the collective atmosphere. So if you want to recline, you can lie down for this part. It's just going to be 2 minutes of progressive relaxation. I'll narrate body parts. If you want to recline back onto a chair, you can do that. If you want to sit up, that's also fine. And I promise I'll re-energize you at the end if you have to get back to something. So make yourself comfy. Again, you can lie back, you can just lean back, you can be real lazy. It's not about posturing perfectly here. It's just so nice to see you all. Okay, good. And you can keep your eyes softly open if you like that better. If you want to close the eyes, you can. And see if you can relax the scalp, follicles in your scalp, the forehead, the back of the head, the eyebrows, the right eye, and the left eye. Relax the nose, right cheek, and left cheek. Relax the space between the nose and the lips. Relax the lips, the teeth, and the jaw. Relax the tongue to the bottom of your mouth. You can swallow if you want to, easeful. Relax the chin. Relax the throat, back of the neck, and both of your ears. Relax the whole head. Now bring your attention to your shoulders. Let soften the upper arms, the elbows and forearms. Soften your hands and your fingers. Bring your attention to your heart center. Relax at the center of your chest. Relax at the back. Weave your attention forward. Relax the belly and the pelvis, the buttocks and the hips. Relax the upper legs at the thighs, the knees, the calves, the ankles. Relax the top of your feet and soles of feet and all of your toes. Take a nice deep breath in and out. For those that might need to go, just want to cue it's 1. I'll take just another minute to wind you up and out if you'd like to stay. Gently deepen your breath. Rub the fingers onto your palms, wiggle the fingers. Move the head and neck from side to side. You might take a neck rotation, whatever your body calls for. If you're lying down, you can roll to one side, come upright, slowly and gently. If you're seated or standing, wherever you are, you can come to sit upright. Take your palms together. You can just rub them together. This is a simple practice that brings energy back to our hands, back to the body. You'll feel that heat. You can bring the hands now over the eyes. You don't have to touch them if you don't want to. You can just sense that heat energy. Blink the eyes open and close a couple times. Draw your energy back down. You might feel strong sitting upright. And thank yourselves, however you like to practice today. In Eastern practice in India, we say namaste, hands, palms touching together. It has many meanings. It's sort of, if you can feel it, right? Like it's hard to explain in words exactly, but it's a respect, it's a thank you, it's a welcome, it's a goodbye, it's everything. So thank you so much for practicing. And in the spirit of, not just thanking on Thanksgiving, say thanks to someone you love. And I hope to see you Thursday next week, 12:30 to 1. We'll do another practice together.
Wow, wow, wow. Rina, thank you, thank you, thank you. You brought it home to us. We really appreciate it. Yeah, for so many of us, whenever you talk yoga, we think it's out of this world experience. But we see from what you've demonstrated today that, it's just the regular thing we need to see. And thank you for taking us through that gratitude. exercises, taking us through the breathing exercises, and also getting us to that quiet space where we can have the ability to meditate. We truly, truly, truly appreciate you. And please, all of you, you can see the website of Urban Alumni. I put Rina's email address. I put her link. So please, if you want to get directly in touch with her, you have all the information. Harvard alumni need you. We need everybody. You don't have to be an alumni to bring value to our special interest group. And Raina, we will see you next Thursday. Remember, everybody, the same link, the same registration. Please check in so that we'll all be together with her next Thursday. Thank
Yes,
you.
please join. Thank you so much, Ngozi, for making this so seamless, and to Harvard alumni for mental health. And thank you, everyone, for joining. I'm just so moved to see you. You know I'm looking at all of you. Thank you so much. See you next Thursday.